LSKennedy said, also, for our records, citing advocate for the pro CSAM grape incest gaming crowd. So now I'm pro grape incest. That's an interesting label for someone that doesn't want censorship. Talk about misrepresenting an argument. Madam Savvy, comma, Smash JT, a YouTube presenter, rubbished our winning, in parentheses, campaign calling Brumby's Bakery to ditch its sexist slogan, workplace uniform tees, which put young female employees at risk of sexual harassment. Look, if you are an attractive young female and you dress in an attractive outfit, you put yourself at risk in society of sexual harassment. If people catcalling you offends you, you're gonna have a bad time. Welcome to being a beautiful girl in this world. What a curse you have been dealt with this cards that have been sent to you. Oh my God, I feel so bad for these girls. The girls themselves describe feeling uncomfortable when wearing them. That's fascinating. But I want to rewind this a bit and wonder, why the hell am I being called out with Madam Savvy on this? Like, Madam Savvy, credit to her, wrote a fucking college essay on what they're doing with Bramley's Bakery. And I think like one segment of one live stream of one video, I was talking about one part of this, alongside a slew of hundreds of other things that I talked about on that night. But from mentioning it and saying that I'm not down with that, apparently now I'm being thrown into this. I'm a YouTube presenter that rubbished their campaign, which, oh, by the way, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Hypnotic also covered it. Vara Dark also covered it. I think Endymion also covered it. I could be wrong. Asmongold, I believe, also covered it. Like, lots of people talked about this. And I go back to the whole, like, I'm being sued right now by Alyssa Mercante. And I'm like, why am I being called out here? Why am I singled out? What the hell? What the hell did I do? And then she continues. She said, do Madam Savvy plus married and father smash JT, which I hear that and I'm just like, what the hell does that have to do with the conversation now? Isn't Savvy married, by the way? I don't know for sure, but like she definitely has a boyfriend or she's married. I believe she's married. Why again? Why am I being singled out here? Think it's okay for employers to facilitate and invite the sexual harassment of girls in the workplace. Dash illegal, by the way. Well, if it's illegal, then they should probably go to court and win a lot of money on it. Oh, wait, what we're talking about isn't that. Because if it was that, then they'd win a lot of money from lawsuits. What you're trying to do is push your agenda to make everything illegal. And what a gloriously boring world that would be. Just imagine the implications for their attempts to mock and minimize our campaign and victory for girls, which, by the way, hold on. I have never checked, nor do I ever plan on checking. I'm just going to take her word for it, that Madam Savvy is a girl. I believe that to be true. And Madam Savvy is pushing back against this. And that's going to really burn them. Against corporate sexualization are not lost on us. We are proud of our campaigns and wins, big and small. Go, congratulations on your activism with your wins and whatever you've had. We will also push back against that because we don't want that in the gaming community. Congratulations. Each one is a declaration of resistance against a culture which reduces women and girls to sex toys for men and companies that profit. This goes to the whole feminism vibe and pushing girl power, and girls have the same power level strength that men do, and there's this equivalency imbalance, and because of people like Madam Savvy and Smash JT, they are creating that divide. I'm like, the hell are you talking about? I can't sell buns and say best buns. You don't want me selling best buns. Trust me, I will not sell any of those. But you got a cute girl doing it? She'll sell a lot of buns with the best buns. Like, look at Hooters. Look at how well Hooters used to do before these activists came in and destroyed it. Amazing. Amazing how that worked. We will continue to stand with women and girls against companies that facilitate objectification of women and sexualization of girls, which interesting. I almost wonder if they're trying to start insinuating things against me. On this post, I want everyone to focus on the first 4 words of what they say here. Also, for our records. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that kind of sounds like a dog whistle to me. When I read for our records, I'm reading this. I barely know who this bitch is, but damn, apparently me merely existing got under her skin enough to start digging. Quote unquote, for our records. Is that a veiled threat? Because to me, guys, you know as well as I do, I've been through this ringer before. This sounds like a lawsuit threat for our records. And then I get named in it. Savvy said, what's the over under on them trying to sue us? And I said, if Alyssa did it with nothing, then I'd say pretty high. Odds of winning? Well, that's a whole other matter. This was my response to that when Savvy shared it. I said, happily married, father of 2 amazing kiddos. My wife is brilliant. Oh, that's weird. I thought I hated women. Wait a second. Maybe I just don't like people that are trying to push censorship on the world. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe I love women that are based as, maybe women are awesome if they're not crazy. Maybe I'm not a sexist after all. My wife is brilliant, beautiful, and works harder than anyone crying on this app, which is very true, by the way, because there's a lot of people crying on this app. We built something amazing and very real. That alone eats them alive. So what do? Slander, lies, desperate sexism smears because they're losing and they know it. Kiss my ass, you pathetic Karen. Come at my family. Bad move. And yep, I shared a picture of me and my wife living the best life. Me and my daughter living the best life. Me and my son. This was at not Comic-Con, but at Southeast Game Exchange, because I took my son to both in the past 8 days. We've been living the best life. And don't worry, though, because they're going to call out married and father thinking that I'm a bad person when I'm saying I don't advocate for the censorship that they're pushing. And how dare them bring my family into this shit? Like, oh, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? That's this person, ethics compliance supply chain, calling out me and my family. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is Bounding Into Comics. They said, Collective Shout staff are now stockpiling personal and family data on creators Smash and Madam Savvy and more. We need more evidence of these mafia-like tactics. Please keep an eye out for attempts from Collective Shout to dox their opposition, which, by the way, huge shout out to Bounding Into Comics, because I didn't even think of that, and I should have. Because that's always the next step of what they try to do. Now, doing it to me is kind of useless because I've already been doxxed by Alyssa Mercante in the lawsuit. So my address and everything's already out there. But Madam Savvy, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing stuff coming out about her, because that's what these people do. When they start losing, they start going to doxing. Fear is the only tactic they trust. What a banger post by Bounding Into Comics, which, by the way, someone in the chat mentioned earlier that there is a book written by Melinda Tankard-Riest, who is the one of the people that works at Collective Shout. And the book that she wrote is called He Chose Porn Over Me. I mean, I don't even know you, and I don't blame him at all. Shit. No wonder you're so angry at everyone. Now, here's where it gets really crazy. Here's where it gets really crazy. You thought it was crazy before? Hold on. It's about to go next level. Like, today was insane. Today was insane. Savvy on X. Alyssa Mercante now joining the fray. However, dared to mock me and say terrible things about me previously. She couldn't see why defending No Mercy was so important. Alyssa Mercante cheered on Collective Shout and now wants to try to contribute? No. The only one with morals for sale is you, Alyssa. I have been consistent from day one. You have not. So let's take a look at some of these posts here. Alyssa Mercante sharing that book that I just referenced and said, I think I found the Collective Shout ladies Joker origin story, which I gotta, like, I know me and Alyssa don't get along, but I gotta give her props where it's due. That's actually a pretty good tweet. Credit where it's due, Alyssa. That's good. That's good. But then we have, in contrast, shock, the alt-right gaming grifters have found a new low in lamenting the removal of a great game. But I guess subterranean goblin freaks can always dig deeper. Alyssa was one of the people who was pushing for Collective Shout initially. But as soon as it starts coming for the games that she likes and the things that she stands for, oh, now censorship's an issue. Now it's a problem. Now we need to draw a line. Okay, I got you, Alyssa. I got you. Holy fuck. This is what we've been talking about from day one. Holy, I can't. Like, literally, this is like a pitcher throwing a very slow ball in slow motion, and the ball's just coming, and you're like, hey, that ball's coming. It's coming. It's really slow, but it's coming. It's there. It's there. And eventually it hits you in the face, and you're like, yeah, I know. I told you it's coming. It's coming right at you. You should have seen it. Like, what? Oh, and by the way, this is Ramya said, the people who conspired with Visa and MasterCard to blackmail Itch and Valve into giving up the First Amendment are not accepting criticism at this time. Collective Shout, would you look at that, guys? Collective Shout posts are protected. I know you're all shocked. While they conspire to threaten to sue Savvy and myself, which all I have to say to that is, please get in line.